The more we hear about what's on the horizon for Tarkov, the more it gets my mind racing looking towards the future, what lies ahead for not only the players but BSG as well. This game has been in development for so long, it's crazy to look back and see how far everything has come. Multiple times throughout this game's life, I expressed my own personal concerns as to the overall direction and ambition of Nikita's vision. I don't want to hate on it, in fact, I kinda envy it. He has such an incredible eye for what he wants his game to be, and if he can see it all the way to the end, I have nothing but the absolute highest respect for him. However, that doesn't mean I don't have my own personal concerns for actually having that vision and everything he wants come to fruition. As sad as it makes me say, the longer I play this game, the more of its holes and glaring red flags I notice as well. Granted, that comes with the territory of any game or hobby you enjoy. I don't want to blindly support what they do and be under the impression that everything will just work out in the end, nor do I want to be a doomer and say it will all fail before it gets released. I'm always trying to be somewhere in between, torn at what can go right, bringing us one step closer to the final goal, and what can go oh so horribly wrong. I think this mentality has been kind of normalized across veterans of the game, people who have years under their belt, who have really seen this game grow and evolve over time. Overall, I'm genuinely curious where everyone lands about not only where we currently stand with Tarkov, but how they feel about everything we've seen for the future too. In regards to the immediate future, while we actually have a pretty good idea as to what's coming for at least this year. Lightkeeper, our first in-game trader, is the primary addition we're all looking forward to. We still have no idea how he's going to function in any capacity. We don't know what his wares will be. We don't know what we'll need to gain special access to him. All we do know is that he's crucial to the overarching plot of Tarkov as a whole, and other than that, it has been largely led up to personal interpretation and imagination. Again, the doomer in me wants to say his implementations will suck and either be confusing or non-intuitive, or what he offers won't be worth what you need to bring him in order to gain access to him. Or even worse, that he will just be impossible to actually reach and talk to, because once he's in the game, people will just camp the lighthouse and never let anyone have access to him. But that's not fair. We can't make a proper judgment until after he's in. And even then, I'm sure once he gets added, things around him will change and adjust for balance's sake. If he is as important as Nikita has emphasized in the past, then I can see some pretty large implications coming with that. Who knows? A lot of the economy could be shaken up because of Lightkeeper. Either way, he's the main attraction since the launch of this patch, and we all wait eagerly to hear more or just see him in the game at this point. We're patient, but we're eager. Aside from a new vendor, I think what everyone really wants to see is the first iterations of Streets of Tarkov at the end of this year. I've said this to myself since the first Battle for Concordia trailer, that the Streets patch, which still sounds like it's slated for patch 0.13, is the most important patch for the game other than just going 1.0. This will truly show everyone, people who are fairly new and don't have a true grasp of what Nikita's vision for the game is, as well as people who have stuck around since the start, what he wants this game to be. This patch will lay out a much stronger idea for them, and allow them to make the decision if Tarkov is a game they still want to pursue. I can only speak for myself personally, but at this point I'm willing to try every version of the game and see if it's for me or not. With how many hours I've put into the game, and how I now have a small following of people who are interested in the game as much as I am, which, thank you by the way, I really do appreciate having a place where I can just talk about stuff and be creative. I don't think I'll ever not enjoy Tarkov. Sure, I might need some time away from it every now and again like anybody else, but it's just such a unique experience that I don't think I'll ever be able to truly put it down, like other games that I've spent years playing but ultimately had to stop engaging with for one reason or another. There are a lot of expectations that come with this map, well, the first playable version of it, because right off the bat, the map is so large it's going to be coming to us in multiple chunks, with new additions as they figure out the entire blueprint and how to not only stitch it all together, but more importantly how to make it so that all our GPUs don't explode. Optimization has been a concern for this map since they initially showed it off, and with how large they plan on making Streets, it makes sense that having us to be able to even play it raises concerns for even just the first version of it. It would really suck if this map got hyped up as much as it has, only for it to not live up to BSG's expectations. I would say ours, but we really don't know what to expect from the map other than it being the largest map in the game, and the little nuggets of info that we've gotten from trailers, different movies, interviews with Nikita, etc. At any rate, the anticipation of this map being released has been around for years, and it finally feels like it's reached its climax. So long as there aren't any major issues from the team runs into, fingers crossed we get a safe landing for this map at the end of the year. Probably my biggest personal request for the game is some form of open world travel across the maps. It's something that to me would fundamentally change how we interact with the game. My imagination immediately goes to something akin to DayZ, how you can just cross an entire map in a couple of hours if you're fast enough. How the world is literally your oyster. Do whatever you want to do, and do whatever you need to do in order to survive. The only part that racks my brain is how the hideout and open world elements would connect. My guess is that you would just leave your hideout and it would spit you out on a random part of the map and you go from there. Or maybe you get a say in where you go, I'm not entirely sure. Either way, I've taken it upon myself to create my own little interpretations of open world travel in 2 different videos, just to try and visualize somehow what it might actually look like. And even with my pretty rough job, it gets me excited just to walk up to an extraction and spawn on the other side in a new map. That idea is just so cool. I know how people might be hesitant towards the idea as a whole, but I personally want nothing more than that major change to come to Tarkov arguably sooner than any other feature. That might just be me, but I'm hopeful we see it in the future at all, because there's a chance we might not. But again, I'm trying to keep the doomer thoughts out and keeping my fingers crossed. In the end, I think what I want most out of anything is for just BSG to create the game they want. I mean, no shit, smartass, but seriously, this is their game, and if they want it to be drastically different than how it is now, that's fine. I'm willing to wait and see it all hopefully come together down the road. However, I hope it comes in a respectful and timely manner. I just don't want to see the game go backwards, that's all. As long as we're making positive forward progress, I'll be happy. But with situations like the removal of Steam audio, I can't help but worry about these kinds of precedents being set. If they're willing to gut a system like that, then who knows what else could be on the chopping block, you know? It worries me that we might be taking large steps backwards instead of forwards, but I suppose I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's take this one day at a time, one patch at a time. Let's see where we are after Lightkeeper and Streets are both in the game. We'll get a much better idea for the lay of the land once that happens. And then hopefully, if everything goes smoothly, we'll be well on our way to a strong 1.0 release in the future. Here's to hoping for the best, while being cautiously optimistic. Cheers. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope to see you in future ones.